Hey guys, it's Lori. I know I haven't been on in a while. First thing I want to say is pardon my appearance. I haven't been feeling real well, so having a late start to the day, but this has been on my heart to do, so I want to get it done. Now is a time of letting go. The energy just shifted, and it kind of brought a lot of people to the point of recognizing soul wounds of past coming back, repeating itself. It's a time of letting go. It's a time of figuring out, okay, what's good for me, what isn't good for me, and how do you figure that out, right? So, and it just happened to coincide with one of the programs, a group program that I'm doing that we've just hit letting go. So it's kind of neat how that happened. That's kind of like hitting a perfect 777 at the store, or whatever, perfect $20. Have you ever done that? It's like, wow, how did that happen? And I don't mean like at the dollar store where everything's a dollar. Anyway, um, so people will say, let it go. You know, the healthiest thing to do is to let something go. Just let it go. Don't hang on to it. And I know that many times when people will call me or in my work, I'm guilty. I'll say that. You need to let this go. You have to let it go. The reason people will tell you that, spiritual guides or coaches or teachers, whatever, um, because it's so important. Okay, so first of all, hanging on to something. Either we let things go or we hang on to them. And what happens when we hang on to them? We may think we let them go. A lot of people say, okay, I just won't think about it. That's not really letting it go. If it's still in the back of your head, or if when that topic, that person, that subject, that whatever comes up, you still get that tightness in your chest, or that sadness, or if every time like if it's a person and you go, okay, I've let it go, but then you still wonder, are they going to call me, or you haven't truly let it go. Letting go is very simple, but it's not an easy thing to do. So don't beat yourself up. Um, it's really, really hard to do if you don't have any faith. If you don't have any faith, it's nearly impossible to do. But let me tell you what happens first if you hang on to something. Um, you may think you let it go, but you hang on. Okay, first, if you don't even think you let it go, it's going to drive you mad. You're always going to be thinking about it, worrying about it, trying to fix it in your own power. If it's a relationship, you could be trying to do everything within your power to get that person to hear you, to listen to you, to change, whatever. You may go against um, your own better judgment, and do or say things that you wouldn't normally do to keep the relationship intact, or whatever. If it's a circumstance, you may, um, again, do things against your better judgment just to keep it intact. When you do have a faith, when you can take it and you can hand it over, just hand it over. Here you go. I can't. And most of the time, have you ever noticed that most of the time that happens when you're at the end of your emotional rope? And then we go, okay, that's it, I'm done, I can't do it anymore, take this. And we actually truly let it go. And that's when things start to change. So many times it's happened to me, and I've heard it with other people. It's like I just couldn't take it anymore, and I said, that's it, I'm done with this. And all of a sudden, the next day, later that day, whatever, things start to change. It's because you've actually let it go. What happens when you don't let it go and you think you've let it go is you're actually stuffing it down inside. So what either happens is the wound never heals, and it goes deeper and deeper and deeper and becomes a soul wound, or you grow bitter. bitterness and anger and hatred, or again, deeper and deeper and deeper, and goes into a soul wound. It could create a wall, a block. I'm not going to let anybody in again. And bitterness festers, festers, festers. It turns into a resentment. We can't allow that to happen. So we must let things go, because for a couple different reasons. You don't want bitterness to take hold. You don't want a soul wound to grow and grow and grow and be deeper and deeper and deeper, so it's harder and harder to heal. And what happens with soul wounds is we subconsciously call into our space situations, events, people, circumstances that are going to validate that soul wound. So then the soul wound grows deeper and deeper, and it's like, see, it is true. For instance, like unworthiness. If that's your soul wound, you're going to call into your existence people that are, you see as better than you, or that treat you that they're better than you, or you don't get the job, or so they all validate your unworthiness if you're unaware of it. If you become aware of it, you'll catch yourself calling these circumstances in, and you'll go, okay, no more. This is my soul wound. This isn't my reality. I don't accept this. And then it begins to change. Okay? Same thing can happen with holding on to something. You hold on to a bad relationship, refuse to let it go. You break up, you still refuse to let it go, or whatever. What's going to happen is you're either going to close yourself off to relationships, or you're going to continue the search, and you're going to continue to call into your life the same type of relationship that hurt you initially. Just something to think about. Another thing that happens energetically we won't let go is what you desire having to do with that subject. I'll just use relationship for instance, but it could be a physical thing. It could be the sale of a house. It could be a family connection. It could be a relationship. It could be money. It could be whatever, anything. It could be the smallest material thing to the highest spiritual thing. The way energy works is the more you hang on to something, the more you refuse to let it go, or you say, okay, I'm going to let it go, but there's like a fake letting go. I'm not going to call, I'm not going to write, I'm not going to, I'm not going to do anything or say anything. I'm not going to yell. I'm letting it go. Well, that's not really truly letting it go. It's just ignoring it. So the more you hang on to something, the more you push away what you truly desire. It's the way energy works. You're holding on. It's kind of like, remember 38 Special, Hang On Loosely? He's talking about relationship. Hang on loosely and don't let go, but if you cling too tightly, you're going to lose control. That's exactly what happens energetically. You hang on and you are not only pushing it away, eventually you repulse it. You absolutely repulse it. Have you ever been repulsed by something? If you're repulsed by something, not only do you stay away, you don't want to go near it. You will do whatever is in your power not to go near it. So that's what you're actually doing by not letting go. You're pushing away exactly what it is that you want to call forth to you. Do you want the solution to a problem? Stop trying to find it in your own power. Let it go. Now, letting it go doesn't mean you don't care about it anymore. In fact, it means you do care about it, and you care so much that you admit, okay, I don't know what the heck's going on with me. Whoop. So, somebody doesn't want me to say this, right? So I'm going to just let it go. Faith is extremely important, and in my teachings, in my classes and everything, everybody's going to hear about my faith. Everybody knows right up front that I have a very strong faith in God. So of course, it incorporates into my teachings, because I believe that we need Him. And when we hand things over to Him, that's when things get done. So, have you ever done this? You think you've let things go. Everything's going along fine. You're feeling okay. Everything's going good. You're starting to feel better and heal and all of that. And then all of a sudden, boom, comes right back in your face. It might not be the same exact situation, but it could be a very similar situation, different players, different actors, right? Or it could be the same actors. It could be the same exact situation. It comes right back, and you realize maybe in a different way. Maybe, okay, so sometimes we think we need to completely eliminate someone or something from our life. So we hand it over. Now, sometimes we don't, this won't happen if you've let it go truly. Okay? If you've let it go truly, this isn't going to happen. But if you pushed it out of your life, it could happen. If it's meant to be in your life, it comes back around and you see it from a different perspective. Now, this gets tricky because even if it's bad for you and it's not meant to be in your life, if you don't truly let it go and you try to control it, but yet you push it away, thinking you've let it go, it can come back. So it gets tricky. You need to look at it, especially the second time around, because a different perspective will be shown to you. And maybe you might think, okay, still not good, still need to let it go. Letting go is always good. Even if, say, you're in a marriage and there's difficulty in the marriage, and you don't want to lose the marriage, but you want to lose the difficulty. Well, you need to let go, hand it over, and be willing to accept the wisdom that comes your way and act upon the wisdom. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm going today, is acting upon the wisdom. So sometimes the second time it comes around, or even the first, you know, okay, this is bad for me. If there's abuse involved, if it's making you feel like you are unworthy, if you've been hurt, if the people you love have been hurt, and I mean, if you're dealing with somebody narcissistic, abusive, whatever, you need to not only let go, but detach, get rid of any kind of spiritual hooks or anything in there. Get rid of it. Don't even think about it. Get rid of it. There are other situations where the situation itself is like poison, but maybe you want to keep the actual relationship. Okay, then what do? Well, then you need that wisdom. You've got to let go of the problem, and you've got to be open to wisdom and guidance. Now, that's where you look and you say, okay, am I making my decisions out of fear or out of love? Now, remember, real love, okay? Real love doesn't boast. Real love isn't selfish. Real love cares more about your happiness than its own, okay? Real love grows together. Real love celebrates when you celebrate, cries when you cry. Real love wants what's best for all of us. Real love will sacrifice willingly without complaining. Have you ever met that person who sacrifices and then says, well, I do this, 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 and this, and this, and this, and you do nothing? Well, that's not truly sacrificing, is it? That's kind of looking, it's being the martyr, okay? We don't need to be a martyr in love. Love fulfills. Love covers. Love covers a multitude of sins. What does that mean? That means that love is more powerful, okay? Whatever we do in love. You know, God tells us that if we could do the best of the best of the best of the best, we could be great at whatever, but if we do it without love, it's useless. Remember that. It's not only useless in the afterlife, it's useless here. You know, you could be giving millions and millions of dollars, and if you're doing it without love, you're not growing. You're not getting the full benefit. The people that are receiving the millions, sure, whatever, but you're not getting the full benefit of giving. You could be the best doctor in the world. If you're doing it grumpily and unhappily, it's not worth much, you know? So, what are you making your decisions out of? Are you making them out of fear or love? Are you deciding to let something go out of fear or out of love? Love for yourself, not selfish, self-centered emotion, but love, true love. Love of everybody involved. Or are you doing it out of fear? Fear that you'll be hurt, fear that you won't be able to do it, fear that you're going to be bad, you know? Fear that it's not going to work out and you're going to be heartbroken. Make a list. Make a list of things. Am I doing this out of love or out of fear? Start there, and then I'll do a part 2. All right, talk to you guys soon.